What a great fall. All our sports just killed it this fall, and we are capping off a great fall with a very exciting day today, a very exciting announcement about a tremendous addition to the Ram family. First, let me do just a few quick thank yous. Thank you, media, for being here. Thank you, fans and everyone, for showing up today to welcome our new football coach. A couple other thank yous. I want to thank three of our vice presidents, Vice President Blanche Hughes, Vice President Brett Anderson, and Vice President Tom Milligan. We had quite a journey together over the last week on our quest to find the new coach for the Colorado State Rams. I really enjoyed our time together, and thanks for being here today. Also, I want to thank Glenn Sugiyama. Where's Glenn? He's somewhere around here, over here. Glenn is with DHR International. He is with the search firm. It's the search firm we use to help us find our coach. He was exceptionally helpful in this process, and we're very grateful to him. But more than any of them, I want to thank the Bobo family, and mostly Lainey and all the kids for coming out to be here today. You know, what you may not know is Lainey is football through and through herself. She is the niece of Coach Dooley at Georgia. So this is a true football family. And as much as I like Mike, if I had met Lainey earlier, I might have hired her to be our coach instead. So anyway, as you know, we did an exhaustive and exhausting national search to find our coach, and we had the privilege of meeting with an amazing group of candidates, but one of them rose directly to the top. You know, we are fortunate to get one of the leading offensive minds in the country. Not only did he excel as a student athlete and quarterback at the University of Georgia, he has excelled as the offensive coordinator there as well for years. Tony is going to talk a lot about some of the attributes that made him so attractive to us as a head coach. But I want to, you know, one quote from spending time with Mike over the last week stands out to me. There are a lot of things I could talk about, but one thing that was popping into my mind this morning was when he said this. We were talking about resources. And you know what he said? He said, "Give me a grease board and a meeting room and I'll win you some football games." Now, he did go on to say that nice new stadium is, don't get me wrong, that'll help. But he emphasized, give me a grease board and a meeting room, and I'll win you some football games. And what I like about that is that's what being a Ram is all about. That's what this university is about. Just rolling up your sleeves and achieving excellence. Not talking about what you don't have, talking about what you do have and what you're going to do with that. That's what being a Ram is all about. That's why he's a great fit here. So with that, it's my privilege to introduce our president. One quick story about that before I introduce him. I'm reminded of a time I introduced him about 6 weeks ago to my mother-in-law who was visiting. We were at a football game. And when I introduced Tony, she turned to him and said, "Nice to meet you. Do you work for John in athletics?" And in typical Tony Frank response, he said, "You know, sometimes I sure feel like I do." And I just want to thank him. I'm guessing over the last couple of months, he's felt like he's worked for athletics. And Tony is, you know, he is not only the greatest president of any university in the country, he is just so good to us in athletics, and we really appreciate all you do for us. So let me welcome Tony Frank up here.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't start out by in turn thanking John. The process that everybody's gone through, and John mentioned the folks that were a part of that. John spearheaded that process, and those people really were tireless in going across the country helping to develop an absolutely fantastic pool. And John was instrumental in being right there beside me in selecting the absolute best next head football coach for Colorado State University, Mike Bobo, and who we're here to welcome today. Mike joins, of course, a great football tradition at CSU. Football traditions that we know include people like Colonel John Mosley from the Tuskegee Airmen, Fum McGraw, Sonny Lubeck, and of course this year's team. This year's team, including all the things that Coach Mack did and the great athletes that were on it, was led by an incredible staff of coaches that really, I think, did an amazing job. And we're looking forward to Mike and his staff writing some of the next chapters in Colorado State University football. As John said, it's a great time for athletics at Colorado State University. Everything from cross country and golf in their seasons last year to anticipation of another great women's basketball season. Tom Hilbert and his team's Sweet 16 run, the current ranking that Larry has with the basketball team, the great football season. It's a great time for Ram Athletics. And as you all know, I am a big believer that shines a light on the quality and the level of excellence that represents Colorado State University, something that we believe is critically important for intercollegiate athletics. Now, I'm not going to stand up here and try and fake my way through why Mike Bobo is a great football coach. I believe he is. I just don't believe I can fake my way through it. Instead, I'm going to talk about perhaps maybe just a little bit about the bigger picture. Intercollegiate athletics right now, in general, and football in particular, has become very big business. And with that very big business come all of the opportunities and all of the challenges that one would expect. Right now, there's a lot written and a lot of focus on things that perhaps are wrong with college football, things that we all recognize we need to do a better job around. But in that focus, we can lose track of how at the core there are so many things that are right about college football. At that core, yeah, we're interested in winning games, but we're also interested in developing the character of young men. We're interested in providing them an opportunity for a world-class education, to walk across that stage in Moby Arena, obtain a diploma, change their lives, change their families' lives, change the lives of so many people in their communities where they go on to become a role model and a leader. When we hire a head football coach, we're making a big decision. We're hiring somebody who will create a lot of first impressions for Colorado State University. We're hiring someone that we expect will know their X's and O's on the football field. And we're hiring someone who takes on that responsibility for creating the environment that will develop the character of those young men and help make sure that they do walk across that stage at Moby Arena and go on to achieve their full potential. I am extremely confident that in Mike Bobo, we have found the exact right man to lead Colorado State University in that effort. I know that he understands his X's and O's. I know that he shares the same character and values that match and align perfectly with Colorado State University. And I know he is an absolutely relentless competitor who understands the importance of always striving in the pursuit of excellence. I'm confident that he is going to give all of us as Ram fans a lot of memories of Saturdays that we'll talk about for years and years to come. But more importantly, I'm confident that he is going to give groups of young men lessons that they will pass on to their grandchildren 50 years from now. Ladies and gentlemen, help me give a warm Colorado State, Fort Collins, and Colorado welcome to Mike Bobo and his entire family.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Frank. I'm fired up right now, ready to go in. He got me ready to play. Tell you what. It's a tremendous honor to stand here today as the head football coach of Colorado State. I'm truly fortunate and truly blessed. And I want to thank you, Dr. Frank, John Morris, Board of Governors, for this fantastic opportunity. And believe me, that's what it is, okay? It's a fantastic opportunity because, quite frankly, it's the first time in my career I've ever interviewed for a job or went after a job, but this place is the right fit for me and my family, and I'm excited about it. I also want to thank the interview committee, Dr. Hughes, Tom Milligan, Brett Anderson. In this process, they're interviewing me, and at the same time, I don't get to ask a lot of questions. I'm interviewing those people. And my dad always told me, you got to know who your bosses are, and you got to surround yourself around good people. And from the first interview to the second interview with Dr. Frank, I knew in my heart, went home and told my wife, they're good people at Colorado State. And that's where you want to go place that has good people, and it's not just about them, it's about everybody, the whole community. So again, I'm truly excited to be here today because the most important thing in my life is sitting right here. My wife's about to make me cry right there, seeing her, but my family, Laney, excuse me, my son Drew, my triplets, Olivia, Ava Grace, and Jake, and then my little one, Kate. Go ahead and stand up, Kate. I know you want to show everybody who you are. She's my baby, and truly blessed in that area. I'm blessed to have a fantastic wife. Being a coach's wife is hard, you know. It's a tough job. We have a lot of hours. We're gone from home a lot, and she's, you know, John was right. She is the head coach of my household. There's no doubt. It's a tough job, and I want to thank her for all she's done. I know she's excited about being part of this community here at Fort Collins. It's a terrific opportunity for our family. They all look good in green. Yeah. Dr. Frank gave them their sweatshirts earlier, and they put them on, and their hoodies, and it's Under Armour, and they're all fired up about Under Armour. I know Jake is. So we look forward to everybody in this room and in this community getting to know not only me but my family. I also want to thank my parents. They weren't able to make it here, but they're a big part of my life, as is my wife's parents. We're a close group. They made a lot of sacrifices in their lives to get where I am to here today and where our family is here today. And sometimes you don't realize that growing up, especially you don't realize it when your dad's a football coach too. He tends to be tougher on you than he is the other guys sometimes. And you know, early on in my life, you know, I didn't really know what direction or what way my dad was trying to push me, but it was all for a reason. He taught me about loyalty, hard work, trust, and really held me to a high standard every day of my life. And I try to live by those same values to this today. So I definitely want to thank my parents. And, you know, sometimes I forget to mention my mom, who was a coach's wife, who, when my dad was being tough on me, she's the one that took up for her baby every now and then and told Dad to take it easy on me. But I love them dearly. They're special in my life and my family's life. Okay, it's also important that I say thank you to the University of Georgia. Very fortunate to have the opportunity to play there as a player. And then to get my foot in the door and coach there for going on 15 years, it's been a blessing in my life, you know. And University of Georgia is a great institution and is going to continue to do great things. But I just wanted to say thank you for the administration, the players, and all the fans there, and a special thank you to Mark Rick. Mark Rick took a chance on a young guy. I might have just turned 26 years old and hired me to be the quarterback coach at the University of Georgia. And I wasn't qualified for that job. I wasn't. But, you know, I went on the interview and I'm sitting there and, you know, Coach Rick, I'm ready to go. Young guy, I've got my stuff. I'm going to talk X's and O's and, you know, try to tell a guy that's, you know, coached in 5 national championship games and won 2 of them, coached 2 Heisman Trophy winners, what I know about football. But wasn't one question about football. It was about life and his vision for the University of Georgia and his vision of how he wanted to treat young men, how he wanted to go about the daily life, daily walk in his program every day. And when I went in the interview, I didn't know whether he was going to offer me a full-time job. Some guys that I was trying to talk to see if they could talk to Coach Rick said, hey, he might bring you back as a graduate assistant. You know, you might not get offered a full-time job. And I had I had a full-time job at that time at Jacksonville State over in Alabama, and I thought I was the greatest thing on earth because I had my full-time job, and I wasn't going back for a graduate assistant job. No way. I'm a full-time coach. And I'm sitting in that room listening to Coach Rick talk about how he's going to go about his daily walk every day and try to make the total student athlete, what Dr. Frank was talking about. Every day try to make sure that those guys, when they wake up, they're not only trying to be the best football player, all right, but the best person. And when they leave here, they want to be a good human being. When they leave the University of Georgia, he wants them to be a good husband, a good father, a good member to society. And I'm sitting there in this interview or listening to him talk, and I said, I don't care what. Back to what my dad told me when I was young, you want to surround yourself around good people. And right there was a good man, and I wanted to go work for him. All right, and that's why I've been there for 15 years. All right, same's true about this man right here, Dr. Tony Frank. Get that same feeling. All right, it's about the people. All right, yes, it's about wins. We're gonna get after it, and we're gonna coach them hard, and we're gonna be demanding. All right, there's no doubt about it. I hate to lose. All right, but at the same time, we're going to make a difference. And I believe in my heart everybody on this campus feels the same way, and that's why I'm standing here today. Okay, so a lot of people want to know why Colorado State. You know, and I think I've mentioned some of those things. The commitment is there. All right, the commitment's there. I believe this place can be a championship program. Dr. Frank mentioned it. Coach Mack did some good things, and this staff did some awesome things. I believe it's in place to take off. It is in place to go somewhere special. All right, there's tradition here. You've won, Coach Dr. Frank mentioned the great coaches that have coached here and won ball games and the recent success. You know, you played football for over 100 years. There's tradition, and I believe we're on the brink of something special. I'm looking into this program, and I'm online looking for stuff, and I'm watching the grind, all access. I'm watching everything on Colorado State, and a lot of times when you watch those things, it's kind of a recruiting fluff, a recruiting spiel. But what I saw guys that knew how to practice. I saw guys that got after it that were trained the right way. So that's another reason that this job interests me. I believe it's there. The key ingredients are there to continue the success and build on what this previous staff has done. And then, like I've been mentioning the whole time, why Colorado State? The people. Okay, it's about people. You want to surround yourself around good people, and it's people, all right, that are going to make the difference and get things done in what you're trying to do, okay? And so those are some of the reasons. Dr. Frank mentioned it again, but, academically, him and John both mentioned academically, Colorado State is tops in the country. I'm in a grocery store in Athens, Georgia on, I don't know what day it is. It's been a whirlwind the last week, but I'm sitting in a grocery store and some guy comes up to me, congratulations, and I said, well, nothing's happened. I'm just, I'm getting ready for Christmas. We're treating the day like Christmas Eve. I'm getting some, and then his wife comes up. She goes, well, I just heard on the radio, you got the job. And I'm like, no, I haven't got a job. I haven't talked to anybody. And she's a professor at the University of Georgia. And right out of her mouth, the first thing, she says, Colorado State academically is second to none. And it's a true story. Right in the Kroger in Athens, she started bragging about the academics at the University of Georgia. Excuse me. All right, excuse me. The academics at Colorado State. Okay, you guys are going to love that, aren't you? Coach Rick did that for a long time when he came from Florida State to Georgia, and it used to always bother me. So I promise you I'm not going to do that. I'm a Colorado State Ram through and through. But back to the story. Right there in Kroger, she's talking about the academics here, and it just struck me, all the feelings that I had about this place, and I didn't even know that I was going to get a call. I didn't know anything, kind of resonated true to me that I'm on the right track. This is where I want to be because of those reasons. And then this city, Fort Collins, had a lot of people in the business world that I graduated with at Georgia that, are travel and talk about business, and they talk about what a great area this is. It's a college town. I didn't want to move my family for anywhere unless it was somewhere where I could see raising them. And I wanted to be raised in a college town, a community like what I grew up in, where people are people, and it's not one guy over here and another guy over there. It's everybody all in together. Because I think when you have that, you have a chance to be something special. I think when you have that, that's when the wins come. I think when you have that, that's when you have the championships. And then that's when it's fun. So that's why Colorado State for me. I kind of mentioned on it a little bit how we're going to continue to build this program. Okay, obviously I mentioned it, but we got to embrace what has worked. There's a lot of good things in place that have worked. It's not easy to win 10 football games. Okay, it's a hard thing to do, go out and win 10 football games, and there's a lot of things that work, and we got to build on that momentum. All right. And we got to get ready to go and build on that momentum. How do we do that? Okay, it's really one relationship at a time. Okay, there's no easy answer to that. I'm gonna walk in the door and everybody's gonna be all on board. Every player, every support person in the program, every recruit, you do that one relationship at a time. All right, it takes work. All right, it takes people going out of their way. All right, to show that Colorado State's important, and it's just not me. It's gonna be everybody in this room building it together, okay? And I think that's how we continue to build this program, okay? But as your coach, all right, and as the quote-unquote face of this program, I promise you, all right, that when you get me, all right, you're going to get my family, all right, you're going to get my staff, and you're going to get my players, and we're going to be part of Colorado State football, Colorado State University, because that's the only way that you can have success and build on what we've got here. Okay, the next thing is going to be recruiting and development. Okay, you've got to be able to recruit, you got to be able to acquire talent, and you got to be able to develop it. And this starts, obviously, it's going to start today. First thing I asked John on the plane was, I need the names of some recruits that we've got committed. I need the names of our current players and phone numbers. I need to get on the phone. And this is important, getting out here meeting the Colorado State people. But as soon as we finish this and I finish answering all these questions, this press conference, I'm going to get my cell phone back from my wife, and I'm going to start getting on the phone and recruiting, okay? Because that, too, is one relationship at a time, okay? That, too, is one relationship at a time, all right? And I believe that starts in this state, in Colorado, okay? This is our state. And we got to start from top to bottom in this state and recruit the best high school football players year in and year out. Okay? Does that mean we're going to get every high school football player in Colorado to come to Colorado State? No. But we're going to try. And we're going to go after them hard, and we're going to go after them with passion. All right? And we're going to let them know that this is the best place for them to play football, to get a degree, all right, and to walk out a better person. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be in those homes, and I'm going to be looking at those mothers, those grandmothers, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, whoever's important to them, all right, and they're going to want to know, are you going to take care of my son? And my answer is going to be, we're going to take care of your son, okay? Not just me. We're going to take care of your son, all right? When I say we, I'm talking about this staff and this community and this university. And if we'll recruit like that, all right, we'll be champions, I promise you, okay? Obviously, Colorado, and then we're going to recruit California and Texas and Oklahoma, and we're just going to go after it. We're going to put our head down every single day and go after recruiting. Now, I realize that I'm not from the West, okay? I'm from South Georgia. I probably don't sound like it, but I am from the South, okay? All right? But, all right, I believe, all right, it starts with relationships. Yes, do I have to work on those relationships, and we got to hire guys that've got some previous relationships? I understand that, okay? All right, there's going to be some makeup time that I got to put in, and I got to go after it, and I got to work, but that's part of it, okay? We're going to continue to do that, and we're going to look for guys, all right, that, one, all right, they want to play for me, and two, they want to play for Colorado State. I want guys that want to be here. Right? I want guys that want to be Rams, okay? I want them to play for me, and I want them to be important to them. All right, if it's not important to them, if they're coming for the wrong reasons because I promised them playing time or because I told them they were going to be the next Matthew Stafford or A.J. Green or no Sean Marino, it's a lie, okay? I want them to come here because they want to be Rams and they want to get better on and off the field, okay? And that's the kind of kid that we're looking for, okay? All right, and then we're going to develop them day in and day out. You know, I keep referencing my dad, so if you can tell, he was an important, you know, man to me, and a lot of my thoughts are, and the way I think are from him. But the way we're going to develop these guys, and really the way I'm going to approach everything, and our staff is going to approach everything, all right, is every day we wake up, we're going to get better that day. That's it, okay? All right. He would, when I'd walk out that house, he'd say two things. He would say, "Let's get better today," and he'd say, "Remember your name," okay? Because your name's all you got. So we're going to recruit guys that it's important, all right, that their name means something, all right? And then when they become part of this program and this family, their new name is Colorado State University, and they're going to represent that name well every day, all right? Now, if they're not willing to do that and represent this university the right way on and off the field, then they're not going to be part of this program. It's going to be a privilege to be part of this program, all right? And they're going to go to work every day to represent this program in a first-class manner, all right? That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to expect the staff to do, and that's what my players are going to do. Day in and day out, represent Colorado State with class. And if we will do that, all right, we'll be champions, I promise you. All right, and that's about it. That's all I got right there, Dr. Frank. I get to kind of rambling a little bit. I don't know if I'm opening it up for turning it back over to you.